don't worry about it. We do have a featured guest today. I'm very pleased to say that Jonas Ackerman, the director of I'm Going to Tell You a Secret, which is a video we're going to watch featuring, of course, Miss Madonna, is going to be here to talk about it. So, and as you can see, we have cameras from MTVU all around, and I'm urging you to stay after the presentation so you can be a part of the Q&A and also of the MTVU presentation. We're very pleased. As you know, for those of you who don't know me, I'm Jay Roman, Chair of Film and Media Studies, and we are very pleased to be co-sponsoring this event with MTVU. And thank you, MTVU, for being here today. And without further ado, I'd like to introduce the film. I'm Going to Tell You a Secret, featuring Madonna.
Few questions right now. Basically, we try to have talent kind of set up for us what's going on. Like, no one knows right next door. There's a full class full of kids that is sitting and watching my movie, and they have no idea I'm about to enter the room and to give them like half-hour Q&A and talk to them and answer any questions they have.
Okay.
So I'll run through some questions. Of course, as you know, this is not live. If you don't feel comfortable with the question or you want to do it again, that's not a problem. There's only about 5 questions.
Let's get going.
Here we go. We ready? Cell phones off?
Well, mine's
Fantastic.
not. And my cell phone's not off. She'll turn it off.
Very cool. All right, so usually we ask the talent to introduce themselves and tell us, what you're standing in for today. Today I'm going to come into private class.
Okay. Should I look into the camera and say it?
You can look at me.
Okay. Well, my name is Madonna, and I'm here at Hunter College presenting a film called I'm Going to Tell You a Secret, directed by Jonas Ackerman, starring me.
Perfect, great. Excellent. Let's see. So what's going on in the auditorium next door? There's kids that are
I believe there's a room full of students waiting well, I don't think they actually know that I'm here, to tell you the truth. So this is rather exciting, and I hope they're pleasantly surprised when I show up. You never know, it could go either way. If they like the film, and I hope they do.
They've been receiving it very well from what I heard.
Really?
A lot of laughter, and they're enjoying it.
The buzz is good?
The buzz is very good.
Okay, good.
Very, very positive vibe. All right, so we know what they think is going to happen. What's really going to happen? You're gonna kind of walk in there.
Well, I'm going to walk in there, I guess, and first of all, I'm going to thank everybody for coming. And my main goal in presenting the film to this university is to really have some kind of back and forth with people about their thoughts about the movie and their reactions to it. Did they like it? Did they not like it? Do they have any questions? Do they need me to explain anything? What were their favorite bits? I mean, it's the first time I've ever shown the film to the public. So it's very exciting for me. I'm a bit nervous. Yikes.
Very cool. And do you have any expectations for what kind of questions the kid's going to ask? I mean, it's always it's a different kind of it's a different venue usually from getting questions.
Well, I'm hoping that because I'm presenting it at a university, that the questions will be more intelligent, more thoughtful, more sensible, not so celebrity oriented. I'm looking forward to that. I hope that's true. I don't know. I think that there will be the inevitable comparisons to Truth or Dare, I suppose, the documentary I made, 12 or 13 years ago. And I'm happy to answer anybody's questions. I mean, who knows? I think different parts of the movie provoke different feelings in different people. So I'm excited to hear what people have to say about it.
All right. And I think that is about it. One last thing I'd like to have you say is just, I'll have a student, this is just a little bit of copy, it takes memorizing. Mm-hmm. So we can do that.
That's okay.
Yeah. You want to try it?
We all have to deal with bad copy.
Yep. It's the last line, number 7. Right here, basically, I'm sorry, this one right here. This basically saying it's doing a quick little intro to what we're about to see.
But this is a monologue. I can't remember everything.
That's fine. I'm happy to blow it off, and I can have a student kind of naturally give their reaction to what happened.
Okay. I might flub it a few times.
That's all right.
Am I allowed to look down?
Yeah, that's fine. We can
Okay.
Is the paper on camera?
Uh-huh.
It is in the shot. Is
She's looking down too.
yeah.
Might as well be.
I'm not going to say screening my new DVD. It's my new film.
Yes.
Okay.
You could say it however you want, Madonna.
Mhm.
Just say it, because you're gonna have to go out there in a minute.
Okay. Looking into the camera or talking to you?
I'll look into the camera.
Okay. Hi. Hi, I'm Madonna, and I'm here at Hunter College, and there's a screening going on in the other room of my new film. I'm going to tell you a secret, and right now a group of students are sitting in that room expecting the director to show up and have a little chat with them. What they don't know is that I'm here, and I'm going to have a little chat with them, so I hope that they'll be pleasantly surprised.
Perfect. Great.
All right.
Okay?
Cool.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
Now, do you understand my secret?
Jeff. So, I'm pleased that you're all here, and as you know, we're going to, they're taping this session for us and for MTVU, and I want to thank again MTVU for co-sponsoring the event. And on behalf of Hunter College, Film and Media Studies Department, and MTVU, and the series Stand-In, I want to introduce our special guest artist for this afternoon, a shining light, Madonna.
Yes? Can everybody hear me? It's probably just talk loud, right? That's what I do best. Stay away from that microphone. First of all, I'd like to thank you all for coming here. I hope you like the movie. I'm very excited. This is the very first time I've ever screened the movie publicly for anybody. So I hope you feel very privileged and flattered that I chose Hunter College. I think it makes sense to be here and to show the movie here first, because I made the movie for people who think, and I'm assuming all of you are here because you want to know more. So I would just like to open up a sort of a forum of questions and answers, because I'm really anxious to hear what you think of the movie and what you have to say about it. And the director, Jonas, is here, right there, that tall man in black. There's a clause in his contract that says that if I appear with him in public, I'm only allowed to wear black, so. Anyway, so shall we just begin? Let the games begin? Yes? I can't see you very well, there's a bright light in my eye, but how do you want to start? Don't be shy. Well, yeah?
I'm sorry, and I'm a Hunter College student.
No, I can't hear her.
Well,
too.
My name is Florine, and I'm a Hunter College student, and I work for the Israeli government, and I'm from Israel. And I think you're brilliant. I took a film and women in media course here last semester, and we actually did a case study about you. And what was amazing is that we, I'm nervous. First, the movie is amazing, really.
Thank you.
I think the work you do is brilliant and really making a difference in the world. And so we did a case study about you. Like the most amazing thing was that every time you're changing. Like you started in the 80s, and then you went to spirituality, and then and now you did Kabbalah. And I think it's great. And I always wanted to ask whether it comes from you, deeply inside of you, or something else.
Where my desire to change comes from?
Yeah, like every time you become a new persona, a new image, it's influenced the world, influenced everybody.
Well, I mean, I don't feel like I'm trying on personas. What I always hope I do is change and evolve, and I always hope that my work reflects that change and that evolution. You took a very big leap between the 80s and spirituality. There's a lot very clever of you to leave a lot of things out. But you know, all those changes and all those aspects of me were part of my growth and are part of me, and led up to this moment in my life, and I have no regrets. Because because it's like that's life, and life is about change. And as I say in the film, knowing is the beginning. And once you start to learn, and I'm sure you all will agree with this, once you start to learn, you understand that you know nothing, and there's so much more to know. It's a very humbling experience. So as life has gone on for me, and I've learned more and taken in more and experienced more, I realize how very little I know, and I'm in awe of the universe and what the universe has to reveal to me. And I'm very excited to be here because I feel like I'm going to learn some things too. I hope I answered your question.
Thank you very much.
Sure. Are you all studying the same things, or what? Lots of different people here, majoring in lots of different subjects. Is that how it works?
Film.
Film and media. Oh. Theater. Right. Okay. All right.
Sorry, I don't want to interrupt. I apologize.
Okay.
My name's Karina, and I'm enrolled at Hunter. I'm a film student, and leading the hectic life you lead and being an idol and a figure for all of us, where did it come about for you to find Kabbalah? How did you find Kabbalah out of all the religions and out of everything that can replenish you, or you can find some answers in? What was your turning point in life where you decided, I need something more?
I think the turning point was, I sort of touched on it in the movie, was when I had my daughter, when I had children, and up until that point, I was very involved with myself. And what am I going to do? What's my next project? How am I going to express myself now? How can I be more creative? And I've always been thirsty for knowledge, but I never thought of myself as a person who's actually responsible for anybody else but myself. And when I found myself a parent, it was very apparent that I hadn't thought about anyone but myself up until that moment. So I think that's when I first started asking questions. Now, I was raised Catholic, and while my father, who's a very good man, he was Catholic as well, and he raised my family that way. He didn't actually answer a lot of my questions, and because my questions didn't get answered, like, why am I here, and why is there pain and suffering in the world, and why do good things happen to bad people and bad things happen to good people? I guess religion never seemed like the answer for me, and I started to get into, when I started practicing yoga, I started studying Buddhism and studying Sanskrit. And that was kind of the beginning of me asking questions and tackling the subject of the ego and recognizing that, you know, well, just recognizing that the world that we live in, the physical world, as I say in the movie, is very tricky, and specifically being a celebrity, you can get very caught up and seduced into believing and thinking that what you do and what you're doing is the most important thing in the world, or that you're the most important thing in the world, or that the world revolves around you, and you become very attached to material things. And I'm guilty of that. I'm still guilty of it, but hopefully I'm becoming less attached. Because at the end of the day, none of those things really bring you true and lasting happiness, and I think everybody here knows that. But religion never really answered any questions for me. And in fact, the more I studied about the evolution of Christianity and other religions, the more I realized that, it seemed to be more about separating people than bringing people together. So I suppose the reason I was attracted to Kabbalah was because it's the first time I was encouraged to ask questions. And whilst Kabbalah might not be for everybody, it resonated with me, and it set me on a path which I think has done me a lot of good. I know that there's a lot of people that say lots of things about it, and at the end of the day, I say to myself, well, has it made, deep down inside, if I look back at my life, I have to say to myself, has it made me a better person? Has it enriched my life? And the answer is yes. So, I suppose, that is really the journey that I took. And I'm still learning, studying. I'm still interested in, my mic just went off. I'm still interested in other belief systems and other philosophies. It's not the end of my search or my journey, it's just the beginning. Like I said, I feel like I just now have, I've just got the tip of the iceberg, and I'm very excited about learning and knowing more. So.
My name is Liat. I'm teaching here. I'm here.
Liat?
Here.
Another Israeli.
Yes, another Israeli. And you're probably aware of the fact that a few Kabbalists in Israel, Rabbi Kabbalists.
Yes, they're angry about a song called Isaac. Is that what you're going to ask?
Yes, and also they were very angry that women are learning Kabbalah, because according to Kabbalah, men over 40 should study it, should study it, and not women.
Right.
What can you answer?
Well, that's the point I'm trying to make about religion. And by the way, when I say people think in a religious way, I don't even just mean about religion, like as we know it in the conventional sense, like about God. But people can, when people think in a religious way, that in my opinion, that is just thinking in a robotic way, thinking in a way that we've been programmed to think, following the pack mentality, not thinking outside the box, not thinking for yourself. If to me the notion that a body of wisdom that could potentially liberate people and make them feel better is exclusive to men over the age of 42 is just an absurd notion, and I don't accept it. So if they have a problem with it, they can meet me on 64th or 7th Park West. Did that answer your question?
Yes.
Okay.
Hi. What I find most interesting about the entertainment industry is the different reasons that so many people get into it.
Mm-hmm.
You have been, it's well documented, well known that you were very driven. Coming to New York, the life that you lived, where you lived, and everything that you did to even get your foot in the door.
Mm-hmm.
What was it that drove you so drastically to wanting this for a career, and what keeps you there?
I mean, why was I so ambitious and driven?
Yes.
To me, totally honest, I think most people get into the entertainment business because there's something wrong with them. No, I came to New York to be a dancer. I grew up in Michigan. Now Michigan's cool, but I don't know, my whole life when I was growing up in Detroit, Pontiac, the suburbs, I kept saying there's gotta be more to life than this, and I don't want to be stuck here all my life. I want to be different. I want to make a difference. I want to be somebody. And dance was my way, that was my way in. That's where I felt like my talent lie. And so without knowing anybody, without knowing a soul, I came to New York to pursue my dream. What drove me there, I really haven't got a clue. I think it's one of those things you can't really answer. You're either hungry and determined to make it no matter what, or you're not. I knew lots of other people who also had dreams, but they didn't push themselves hard enough, or when they got rejected, they accepted what people said to them, and I suppose I never did that. I think if a psychiatrist was analyzing me, he would say that I was driven by my unhappiness or some kind of emptiness that was inside of me, some desire to fill myself up, some need that I had to figure out who I was. But I think at the end of the day, we all have that desire, we all have that need. But once again, we think in religious ways. Someone says, no, you're not good enough. They slam the door in your face and you go, oh, maybe I'm not good enough. Maybe they're right. And I think the biggest mistake that any of us can make is to believe what other people say about us. So I think that's the first thing, that to really believe in yourself, no matter what. Was it thought?
The second part of my question was, you are one of the hugest celebrities in the entire world, and we see so many people that make it big and have several hits, and then they fade away, or they settle.
Mm-hmm.
What keeps you still making music? What keeps you keep coming out with albums and videos and movies?
I love what I do. I love what I do, and I'm excited about my work, and I feel very blessed and privileged to be doing what I'm doing. And the more I learn, the more I want to express what I know. And I don't know. I think it's just curiosity and tenacity. That's what keeps me going.
Hi, how you doing? I'd like to congratulate you on your growth. My concern is, what do you think, we as young people, we're like the next in line, basically. What do you think is the first step that we should take towards getting towards, you referred to a lot in your movie in terms of the light.
Mm-hmm.
I want to know, what do you think are the first steps that we should take as young people to get closer to that light?
Well, I think a lot of people think, oh God, what can I do to make a difference in the world? And I think the first place that we start is with ourselves and the relationships we have with the people that are closest to us, our families, our husbands, our wives, our girlfriends, our boyfriends. I think the best thing to do is to find one person in your life and try to learn how to love them unconditionally. I think if you accomplish that, you've accomplished a lot, and the light, as you say, will be radiating through you, and it will affect everything around you.
Hi, my name is Isaiah Brightly. I just wanted to say that about your film. I like the way that you took the energy of entertainment and put the world issues within that, because I feel a lot of times the only way that people see those things is through entertainment, and otherwise it's boring to them. You said in the film that your husband makes you think a lot, and you feel that's very important to you.
Mm-hmm.
And I felt like the film, to us, it made us think about the world on a larger scale. Because I think about the world every day, and sometimes I get discouraged. But then I see the film and it makes me wonder, like, wow, there's people out there that really care and think, and now that we've all seen this, hopefully we'll think too.
Yeah.
But in the end, you said the end is the beginning, and since it's the beginning for us and the beginning for you, I just want to know where you plan to go from here in your quest for helping the world.
Well, the first thing I do is put this movie out and do things like this, have open forums and discussions and have, and try to connect to people and hear what people have to say. I think that's the beginning. I intend to always, be provocative and political in my work. And as I learn and change and grow, I hope that I'm always going to be able to present that in my work, whether it's film or music. That's a big contribution. If I can make 10 people in the world wake up and say, God, what am I doing to make this world a better place? And then they actually do something, then I think I've done my job.
First of all, I want to say that my name is Erin. I'm a theater student here at Hunter.
Is that you or me?
I apologize. I don't know. It probably was me. But I saw your reinvention tour over the summer in Boston, Worcester actually, and seeing it then, I mean, I was so inspired by you, and I still am. And seeing the movie again, I mean, I really think that what you're trying to do is really effective. I mean, personally, for me anyway. And I feel like you talked about you want to awaken people and then show them the way, and you just also answered a question about improving relationships that are around us, and that's what we can do. That's the first step. But as someone who's really, really interested, I mean, you said you were hungry. You came. I mean, I just moved to New York a couple months ago. I don't know anyone either, and I mean, from a small town, it's really. I mean, I've always been taught and encouraged that make positive change, and I really feel like what you're trying to awaken us to, I really feel like you're being successful, and how else can we help? I mean, how else, besides just personal relationships, just going out in the world, what else? What is your advice to someone like me or someone like all of us who really...
What is it that you do? Or what is it you want to do as a...
Theater. Yeah.
Are you a writer?
Yes, also.
Well, then you can start with your work. I mean, you can put on plays that are thought-provoking. You can write plays that are about things that are meaningful. I mean, first you've got to make people excited, and you have to make the idea of asking questions entertaining. You know what I mean? I'm a big fan of theater myself, and whenever I do my shows, I always think of them in a very theatrical way, and I think it's a very good way a medium to reach people. So you can start with your work, but there's a million different ways to do it. I mean, there's so many different things you can get involved in with your community. There are so many charitable organizations. I mean, go to the Middle East. There are people in need of help all over the world. There are so many different organizations. It's endless. I'll talk to you later.
Hi, I'm Eddie. Couple things. Well, can I just add to that? Sort of like,
Sure.
There's lots of non-for-profits. I work in a non-for-profit called Global Action Project, and they teach young kids how to make their own films to sort of combat images of them that were created by people who are not them.
That sounds amazing.
So,
What's it
and
called?
I got Global Action Project. Global Action Project, and I got that internship here. So go to the internship office.
Okay, well, why don't you get together with her after?
I just wanted to commend both of you because it's like, I think it's really hard to find someone who a lot of people see as an icon and sort of make them a real person in a film. And I think that was an awesome job because it's just like you gave a lot of yourself, and I'm sure that was hard and tough, and like that's awesome to do that. And
Jonas,
like
I think that's...
and you did a great job of portraying that. And I actually had a question about the filmmaking. I noticed a couple of rings, sort of like flashes of rings. And
Jonas,
I
come up here.
About that.
You need to be on the microphone. It's very lonely up here.
actually one of those punch holes they do in the beginning of the roll just to set the time code. And I just used them as an effect. That's it. Obviously it worked. There's no fancy effects in it, it's pretty simple, straightforward.
I love the film. It was absolutely wonderful. You did an amazing job. I actually wanted to ask, I don't know about anybody else, but this is like the first time that I've seen as much of your children ever that I've seen in here. How was it? You know, did you know from the very beginning that you wanted to put your children in the film, and have they watched it also?
No, they haven't watched it. I think I struggled with that in the very beginning, and for a long time I decided I wanted to make a sequel to Truth or Dare, but I thought, well, I don't want my kids to feel like they're being exploited, and how can I keep my private life private, but then not, how can I leave that part out, then it's not really about my life, because that's a big part of my life, how do I do it? And I think, in the end I decided, well, we decided together to have them in, but for me, the reason it was important to have them in is because if I've got something I want to share with the world, my point of view, then people need to know that I have struggles like everybody else. I have kids, I have a husband, I have, to balance and juggle my life and my work, and I think it's important for people to see that I'm a human being. And I think that they were filmed in a way that, they were filmed in a very respectful way, and I don't know if you've noticed this, but they sort of don't really care that the camera's on them. And they're not very self-conscious about it, and I think we captured the essence of them, and it was just the right amount, and when they grow up, they can watch the movie. Wow.
Kind of along the same lines of having your public life, your personal life being public, do you have any advice for up-and-coming artists, people who maybe are not sure whether or not they should truly put everything out there for fear of, you know what I'm saying? Like,
well, first, I didn't get into this line of work so I could put everything out there. I mean, I wanted to be a singer. First I wanted to be a dancer, then I wanted to write music. First you have to have, what is your mode of expression? The fame part is a byproduct of your work. I don't think you should be concerned with your...
I was just wondering if you had any regrets when fame did come about anything, that did go on in that period between the 80s and the spirituality that they...
But I already said I don't have any regrets.
And any advice for people who, maybe one day will have to be faced with that? Like, how do you deal with the media and the tabloids and the things that are negative towards what you're, doing that's positive?
Well, I just try to see things for what they are. I know that sensational headlines and negative headlines sell more newspapers than positive, so I'm very clear and I have that in perspective. I'm not saying that, people saying not nice things about me never bothers me. Sometimes it does, but for the most part, I think I have a healthy perspective and I understand why it's happening, and I don't take it personally. Are there a lot of filmmakers here, aspiring filmmakers? Yeah? Well, we want to hear from you guys. Come on.
Yeah, how you doing, Madonna? My name is Jason. I just got a question. I'm all right. How you doing?
All right.
It's a Leo thing.
Okay, I got it.
All right. I was brought up in a low-income housing, and I had aspirations to be a director, and I'm entering a very ego-driven industry. It's a, how can I still be firm and not let my ego get the best of me getting into this industry?
Jonas, do you want to answer that question?
I don't have such a
His
big
ego.
ego.
That is where I take over.
I mean, being firm.
How can you be firm and not ego-driven?
Yeah, that's what I'm asking.
Well, I mean, you need to have your ego. If we didn't have an ego, we wouldn't have drive and ambition. But at the end of the day, you have to ask yourself, what are you doing it for? Are you doing it just because you want to be rich and famous, or do you have something else?
No, artistically, but there are some people, being that this is an ego-driven industry.
Well, it's an ego-driven world, okay? You're in the industry.
Because I've seen people I know who became directors turn out to be, you know, we're all adults, assholes, yeah. And I think that the egos get the best of them. And what becomes artistically inclining is now it's like the celebrity status. And how can I be still firm, but yet not ego-driven? That was the point. Well,
I think you just have to, first of all, you have to always remember why you're doing it in the first place. And you have to recognize and realize that any of your talents are not yours. You don't own them. You're just a manager. Okay? So if you manage them well, they'll keep flowing through you. And if you think you're the shit and you're the king and your ego is out of control, eventually your creativity will dry up. I think that's generally what happens to people.
All right, thank you. Oh, by the way, I like the way you rocking that outfit.
Jonas chose my outfit.
You got good taste.
Hi, Madonna. My name is Troy. I just want to say I was at your reinvention tour in New York, and I had tears in my eyes. It was amazing. I actually got kicked out of this school, but was still on the email list, and I'm so happy.
Why did you get kicked out?
I had a bad semester, or a bad couple semesters.
Would you care to elaborate on that? What does bad semester mean?
Like I did bad in a couple classes.
Like you didn't show up?
Maybe.
Okay, well you might have a future in directing.
But anyway,
Can I get you an ice pack or something?
Could you just run into the kitchen and get us a beer, could you, darling?
What kind of beer?
Just come out and tell me what they got in there, could you?
Okay, hold on.
I like to keep her busy.
I never had trout head soup.
It's good though.
Trout
it's
head
but
soup.
It's not too fatty, so for you.
I want fatty.
I like a trout's head soup.
Sing Pao and some Japanese beer. The Chinese beer?
That'd be very nice. She functions very well when she's occupied.
When Mayumi needs to bolster up my energy and my immune system, she gives me the head of the fish rather than the body. The eyeballs are very good for you. I just crushed its skull. Oh, it's fucking deadly. I know why you're here. You're curious. You want to know all about me. That makes two of us. I started out wanting to tell one story, and I ended up telling another. You know the old saying, you want to make God laugh? Tell him your plans. I tried to be as honest as I could. Yeah, right. Sometimes I look back at my life and I say, what was I thinking before I was thinking? Sartre once said that if you go deeply enough into anyone, you'll find yourself looking at humanity.